Thank you for tuning in to the Wendy Inspire channel and for joining our Happy BME Village where everyone belongs. So no matter who you are, how you are, or what you are, you're safe here with us here in our Happy BME Village. And stay tuned to the very end because up next, I'm going to talk to you about a few strategies to avoid burnout because burnout is so real. I want to share my strategy with you and it has been working for me. So now I want to share it with you. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so burnout is a real deal thing. And many of us have experienced burnout. That's when we are so overwhelmed or our body is so tired that we cannot produce on the same level. That means that sometimes our heads start hurting, we feel anxious, and we're not able, again, to perform on the same level. A few things that I personally incorporated to help me not become overwhelmed, not burn out, not take on too much on my plate. I was actually having a conversation with someone and we were talking about juggling. And we were talking about how when you're juggling one or two things, it's easy. Just like, you know, the clown at the carnival and they're juggling, they have two balls and it's easy. And they're like, hey, I can juggle these two balls and it's simple. They throw in another ball and they're like, oh, I got it. 3 balls, great. And they're throwing them up. And then they start juggling more. And now they have 10 balls and are juggling 10 balls and are moving so fast. And guess what? They end up dropping all the balls because instead of them focusing on just 2 or 3 or maybe 4, they started to put more and more and more on their plate. And before they knew it, they dropped all the balls. Also, it's very important that we realize that we are wired different. And some people may be able to stay up until 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the morning and go to work and perform their job duties. And other people like me have to go to bed kind of early because I need to recharge, I need to unwind, I need to regroup, and that prepares me for my day. So sometimes I might have a conversation, say, hey, I can't do this because I have to go to sleep at this time so I can recharge. And people may not receive it that well because they're like, hey, what do you mean? No, you have to do this, and no, you have to do that, and I need you to do this, and I need to do that. And then all these different voices on the outside are telling us what we need to do, and then we have our own things that we're telling ourselves that we need to do, and then we're saying we want to do this, and then before we know it, we are overwhelmed and burnt out. So this is one of my main strategies that I have incorporated. I actually bought this whiteboard from Five Below for it was $3. So I bought this whiteboard from Five Below for $3. And it's a simple whiteboard. And my strategy is at the beginning of every month, I put my top focuses on this board. And I write my top focuses down and I do not pick up anything else until I complete these focuses. Now some focuses may take a little bit longer, but I do not complete anything else until I complete these focuses. And what I do is I hang it on my wall in my office. And that is my focus. I have to do this, 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 and this. So when my mind starts to say, oh, and do this, and oh, and do that, or if somebody calls and say, oh, I need you to do this, I need you to do this, I need you to do this, I look at my board, I say, not on the board for this month. I can absolutely do this, or I can absolutely help you. Right now, I'm going to focus on this. Understand that self-care is not selfish. It is okay to say no to protect yourself. It is okay to do things that work for you. Remember, we are all created completely different. And what may work for one person may not work for the next. And what may work for you may not work for the next. But it's important to know what works for you, do what works for you, and don't be afraid to say no. So I just wanted to share this because it has been extremely effective for me to just write down. And I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 focuses. Some of the focuses are really quick, but I have 7 focuses. And another great thing about when you write things down, when you check them off, you have a greater sense of accomplishment. It helps me to stay on task, to stay focused, and not to pick up more than what I can juggle. So that is our focus for today, to find a whiteboard. And if you don't have a whiteboard, take a piece of paper and write down your top 1 through 7, or however, depending on how big the tasks are, but maybe your top 3 to 5, write them down and only focus on those specific things. And then once you complete them all, you wipe off your whiteboard and you start all over. So I completed most of them. I have one more that I have to do, which will probably take a couple months. But for the most part, I was able to check them all off and I'm feeling really good about it. So now I'm able to wipe it off and I'm able to start fresh for the month of July. And I keep continuing to do this because it helps me stay on task. So thank you so much for tuning in to the Wendy Inspired channel and for joining our Happy BME Village where everyone belongs. I'm so glad you stopped by. And if you have a strategy that helps you to stay on task, a strategy to help you to not become overwhelmed or burnt out, or if you're able to really exercise the power of no, to know it's okay to say no, to also know that self-care is not selfish. If you have your strategy, please, please, please share it with the village, because that is absolutely what we do here. We learn and we grow together. We share best practices and we continue to keep on keeping on. And again, thank you so much for tuning in to the Wendy Inspired channel. I'll see you next time. Make it a great day.